You ever notice how your relationships fall apart in the exact same way every single time? Like you're stuck in a loop you never signed up for. At first, everything feels electric. Late night calls, cute messages, inside jokes, plans for the weekend, that warm feeling in your chest that finally you met someone who actually gets you. And then, slowly, the temperature drops. Her replies get shorter. She cancels plans more often. She feels distant. You can't explain it, but you feel it. And then comes that message, the one that starts with, "We need to talk." Or sometimes nothing at all, just silence. And you're left staring at your phone thinking, "Why did I get dumped again? What's wrong with me?" Let's pause right here. There's nothing broken about you. You're not cursed. You're not doomed. You're not unlovable. What's happening is something psychology calls a repeating attachment pattern, a cycle you fall into without noticing, a set of behaviors that feel familiar, even if they don't work. Today we'll break down why guys between 16 and 30 keep getting dumped, over and over, even when they try their best. And more importantly, how to stop the cycle for good. First reason, you get attached too fast. It happens to so many guys, and most don't even see it. You meet a girl you like, she's smart, funny, cute, has that energy you vibe with. You talk for a few days, or maybe a week, and suddenly she's not just the girl you met, she's someone your brain has already built a whole future with. Psychologists call this overinvesting, when your emotional energy jumps ahead of the actual connection. And here's the problem, she can feel it. Maybe she just said, "You're sweet," and your mind immediately filled in all the blanks. She didn't ask for that. She didn't commit to that. But your energy creates pressure, even if you don't say anything out loud. And when someone feels pressure too early, they pull away. Fixing this starts with slowing down. Let the connection grow on its own instead of trying to speedrun it like a video game. Second reason, you make her the center of your life way too soon. This one hits a lot of guys hard. You meet someone new, and suddenly your entire routine collapses around her. Gym? Later. Work? Whatever. Friends? They can wait. Your phone lights up and you drop everything. It feels romantic, but to her it feels like responsibility, like she suddenly became in charge of your happiness. In psychology, this is called loss of self, when you let your identity fade the moment you like someone. Example, she texts you, "What are you doing?" And instead of living your actual life, you're literally waiting for her next message like you're on call 24/7. Nobody wants to be someone's entire world after a week. Fix, keep your routine. Keep your goals. Keep your hobbies. A guy who has a life is attractive. A guy who abandons his life for a girl he barely knows becomes a burden. Third reason, hidden insecurity. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind. The kind that shows up in small ways. Constant. "Are you mad at me? Is everything okay? Did I say something wrong?" You search for confirmation that she still likes you. Psychologists call this reassurance seeking. And here's the real-life version. She's busy, work, school, whatever, and she replies after 6 hours. Meanwhile, you've already imagined 10 worst-case scenarios. You send more messages. Maybe a joke. Maybe a question. Maybe a sad emoji. When she finally opens her phone, she sees a wall of notifications. And instead of feeling loved, she feels overwhelmed. A healthy relationship can't breathe when someone needs non-stop reassurance. Fix, build internal stability. Learn to tolerate silence without panicking. Fourth reason, you don't set boundaries. A lot of guys think being agreeable is the same as being kind. It's not. Agreeable guys end up becoming nice but forgettable. Kind guys have boundaries. Many men are afraid that saying, "That bothered me," or "I can't do that right now," or "Please don't talk to me that way," will make her leave. But here's the twist. A lack of boundaries makes her lose respect, not love. Example, she cancels plans last minute. You say, "All good." She jokes about something that actually hurt you. You laugh it off. She flirts with other guys. You pretend nothing happened because you don't want to appear jealous. That isn't mature. It's self-erasing. Fix. Learn to speak honestly, calmly, and directly. Fifth reason, the rescuer mindset. Guys love the idea of helping a girl through her problems. It makes them feel needed. It gives them a purpose. But relationships built on saving someone almost always end in heartbreak. This is called the rescuer complex. You meet a girl who's overwhelmed, struggling emotionally, dealing with drama, and suddenly you become her therapist, her support system, her late-night crisis hotline. And then, when she finally feels stable, she leaves. Not because you weren't helpful, but because she never saw you as a partner. You were a temporary life raft. Fix. Stop choosing relationships where your role is to fix someone else's life. Sixth reason, you try so hard to be perfect that you stop being real. A lot of guys build a perfect partner persona when they like someone. Psychology calls this the false self, a version of you created to impress. You hide flaws, avoid disagreements, say whatever she'll like, pretend to be chill even when you're not. But relationships need authenticity more than perfection. Example, she asks what you actually want, and you say, "Whatever you want." That gets old fast. Being perfect is boring. Being real is attractive. Seventh reason, emotional distance. You think you're open, but you're not. You talk about movies, work, memes, but when the conversation gets deeper, you shut down. You joke. You change the topic. You avoid vulnerability. This is part of the avoidant attachment style. And here's the thing, you might be great at listening, but terrible at sharing. She feels like she knows nothing real about you. That makes her disconnect. Fix. Practice small vulnerability, one honest statement at a time. Eighth reason, you choose girls who are emotionally unavailable because it feels exciting. Many guys mistake emotional chaos for chemistry. When a girl is inconsistent, one day warm, next day distant, it creates a dopamine cycle. In psychology, this is called trauma bonding. Example, she disappears for 3 days, comes back with, "Sorry, busy." LOL. Acts sweet for a moment, then repeats the cycle. You think this is passion. It's not. It's addiction. Fix. Choose consistency over intensity. Ninth reason, ignoring red flags. You see the signs. You just pretend you don't. She says she's not ready for a relationship. You think you'll change her mind. She treats you poorly. You blame stress, her past, anything. Fix. Believe actions. 10th reason, you fear real closeness. This one is uncomfortable, but true. Some guys subconsciously choose relationships that are doomed so they never have to face actual intimacy. Because real intimacy requires vulnerability, and vulnerability feels dangerous. Fix. Understand what you really want, not what your fear wants. And now that we've broken down the main reasons you keep getting dumped, we need to talk about what actually changes things. Because understanding the pattern is only step one. If nothing changes in your behavior, nothing changes in the outcome. The first thing you need to fix is your speed. Most guys rush. They meet someone, feel a tiny spark, and immediately leap 5 steps ahead emotionally. Slow down. Real connection grows like a plant, not like an explosion. Give her space to invest too. Relationships where only one person invests collapse fast. Slowing down also protects you from creating fantasies. One of the biggest reasons guys get hurt is because they fall for the idea of someone, not the real person. You imagine she's perfect, emotionally stable, always supportive, always loyal, and then reality comes in and it feels like betrayal, even though she never promised anything. So start observing instead of projecting. Watch who she is, not who you wish she was. The second thing you need is a life beyond her. Girls don't leave guys because they go to the gym, have hobbies, hang out with friends, or work on their goals. They leave guys who disappear into the relationship. A guy with purpose feels grounded. A guy without purpose feels needy. Think about the people you admire: athletes, creators, entrepreneurs, musicians. They all have something they're building outside of their relationships. That energy is attractive because it shows strength, stability, direction. This is called self-differentiation in psychology. The ability to stay connected to someone without losing yourself. And trust me, the moment you stop orbiting around a girl, she starts seeing you as a partner, not a project. Third thing, emotional regulation. Most relationship problems aren't caused by big dramatic events. They're caused by micro-reactions. You get jealous too fast. You panic when she's distant. You assume the worst. You blow up over something small. You shut down when things get emotional. When your nervous system is unstable, your relationship becomes unstable. Emotional regulation means you don't let your fear write the story. Example, she replies late. Instead of spiraling into, "She doesn't like me anymore," you think, "She's busy. I'll focus on my stuff right now." That one shift can save a whole relationship. Fourth, communication. I know it sounds basic, but most breakups happen because people avoid honesty. You swallow your feelings until they explode. You don't say what bothers you. You don't say what you want. You don't say what you need. You avoid conflict, and because of that, conflict grows. Healthy communication isn't about being perfect with words, it's just about being clear. Example, instead of, "Whatever," say, "I felt ignored when you didn't respond yesterday, can we talk about that?" Instead of, "It's fine," say, "I didn't like that comment, please don't joke about that." Girls respect honesty way more than passivity. Fifth, boundaries. Boundaries don't push people away. They filter the wrong people out and keep the right ones close. When you say, "I can't talk right now, I'm working," you're not being rude, you're being responsible. When you say, "That behavior isn't okay for me," you're not controlling, you're self-respecting. When you say, "I need some time alone," you're not distant, you're human. People with strong boundaries form stable relationships because they don't build them on fear. Sixth, choose better partners. This one is harsh, but necessary. If you always choose chaotic girls, your relationships will always be chaotic. If you choose emotionally unavailable girls, you will always get hurt. If you choose girls who need saving, you will always end up drained. Choosing someone stable doesn't feel as exciting at first, but it creates long-term peace, not short-term dopamine spikes. A girl who communicates, respects your time, has her own goals, and doesn't play games, that's the kind of person who builds with you, not against you. Seventh, heal your patterns. Every guy has reasons why he behaves the way he does in relationships. Maybe you grew up in a home where love felt unpredictable. Maybe you learned to keep your feelings hidden. Maybe you were mocked for being emotional. Maybe your first relationship ended badly. Without awareness, your past controls your present. This is where concepts like attachment theory, self-worth, and inner child work come in. But you don't need a therapist to start healing, you just need honesty. Ask yourself, What am I afraid of in relationships? What triggers me the most? Why do I choose people who hurt me? Why do I stay when someone treats me poorly? Answering these questions changes everything. 8th, let go of scarcity mindset. A lot of guys act desperate in relationships because deep down they don't believe they can find someone else. It's like their brain whispers, "If she leaves, you'll never meet anyone like her again." That's simply not true. There are millions of women you haven't met yet, living in cities you haven't visited, doing things you haven't seen. Scarcity destroys confidence. Abundance creates calm. When you know you're capable of meeting someone else, you stop clinging. And guess what? That makes you more attractive. 9th, practice vulnerability. Girls don't leave guys because they're vulnerable. They leave guys because they're closed. You don't need to pour your soul out on day one, but sharing small pieces of your inner world builds intimacy. Example, instead of pretending everything is fine, say, "I had a rough day, I'm a bit stressed." Instead of laughing off every serious topic, say, "I'm not great at talking about feelings, but I'm trying." Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's connection. 10th, raise your standards, for yourself first. A man with high standards doesn't chase people who treat him poorly. He doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't tolerate disrespect. He doesn't abandon his goals for a girl. He doesn't settle for breadcrumbs. When you raise your standards, your dating life transforms. And now, the final, most important part, how do you stop this cycle permanently? Start with your identity. Stop seeing yourself as the guy who always gets dumped. That story shapes your behavior. Replace it with, "I'm the guy who learns fast. I'm the guy who grows. I'm the guy who won't repeat the same mistakes twice." Then, take small, consistent actions. Keep your routine even when you like someone. Communicate early and clearly. Choose consistency over chaos. Slow down emotional investment. Trust actions, not words. Set boundaries without fear. Walk away from people who don't value you. And the biggest truth, breakups aren't failures, they're feedback. They show you exactly where you need to grow. Every heartbreak teaches something. Every pattern shows a wound. Every goodbye makes room for someone better. You're not doomed to repeat the same story. You're becoming the version of yourself who never settles for half love, confusion, mixed signals, or people who don't choose you fully. The day you stop abandoning yourself is the day people stop abandoning you.